Hey everybody, welcome back to day 2 or module 2 of training. This is Gabriel Jimenez. I'm sure you guys already know with Gateway Wholesale Homes. We are an investment real estate company. We offer distressed properties to cash buyers. Today's training, we are going to be learning how to create an email marketing page. This email marketing page is going to work directly with the web page that you built in Module 1 or learned how to build in Module 1. The first message or notification these people hear from us regarding these properties that we have is through this email marketing piece. So this piece is very important. It represents our company. It puts our best foot forward and it lets people know that we're out there and what we're offering to them. There has to be a benefit to them. It has to be appealing. It has to be concise and very informative. So we keep it as streamlined as we can, but as thorough, and as complete as we can as well. So I'm going to start out by opening up Mozilla. That's the web browser that I use. And we are going to go again to Godaddy.com. Once you're here, you're going to again sign in. If you signed in before, my name might already pop up in here. You're just gonna with the username and passwords that have been provided to you, press sign in. It will take you back to here as you saw in Module 1. In Module 1, we worked on Website Builder. In Module 2, we are working on email marketing right here. I'm gonna click that. Go over to the right, you're gonna click on Manage. When this opens, you're going to see a list of all of the campaigns or marketing pieces that I have made. If you scroll down, all of these titles are what shows up in the subject heading line. So if you hovered over it like this, you'll see it will say Rare Find in Ronhurst, Investor Special in 9111 zip code. This is what the subject line read when it came across. Okay, so when we are doing a marketing piece, I will be instructing you on one of two things. Either we're going to be rerunning one of these, okay, or we're going to be creating our very own brand new subject line. If that's the case, there's one of two actions, depending on what we're going to be doing, there's one of two actions that you will take next to either create or copy a template. In order to use one of these that you've already used, but you just wanted to add to it, you would click the edit button right here. The edit button will take you right into the piece. Therefore, when you send this piece out, you see right here in the top, it says Rare Find Ronhurst Investor Special in 911 zip code. This is the subject line that it will read to someone. If, however, though, you need this to be different, it won't allow you just to change it in here and save it across the screens. So what you have to do is actually go back. You see this little sheep right here? It says create a cloned copy of this campaign. This right here, it's a little sheep. Create a cloned copy of this campaign. You would click on it. Up here it says your clone of Rare Find Ronhurst Investor Special is ready. While it takes a little time to come up. Once it comes up, you click edit. And up here now, you notice there's a number 1 after that heading. That means this is the cloned copy. Right here is where you can highlight the whole thing and you're going to name it whatever it is I tell you to name it in the email I give you. So that email is going to consist of several things. It's going to consist of some information that I told you it would consist of in Module 1, where you're going to be told the asking price, the amount of instant equity, the retail price after it is repaired, and the dates and settled prices of the comps that you used. That's going to be included in the same email, and also I'm going to have in there information pertaining to this mail piece. It's going to say, name the subject heading this, or it's going to instruct you to either clone from a certain piece or create a new one. or excuse me, or edit an existing one. Every now and again, I may ask you to show me your creative talents and ask you to create one. If you do that, you would simply follow the same steps. You're going to be using something like this. You would We're going to get into that later. I'm not going to focus on that at this moment because there's only one of two items that I need you to do primarily, and that would either be add to an existing campaign or create one with a new subject heading that we're going to be customizing anyway. Okay, what you're going to do is once you're in here, you're going to click anywhere in the wording. Here is where you're going to make changes. Here is also where the HTML code is added that takes you to that connects the links to the web page you created on module 1 with here. So let me give you an example. Let me show you the very first thing that you're going to change. So again, we went here, we pressed edit. Once it comes up, you're going to click where the wording is, and right here I'm going to click where it says rare find priced right. Doesn't really matter where you click. It's going to open up the edit dialog box. What we want to do is make sure this information matches with the information you created in the web page. So it might say something like rare find priced right in Ronhurst. Well, that would be fine if we were advertising a Ronhurst property. However, some of these advertisements might include multiple properties. Right now, we only had one in here. But your job is going to be is to add more of these. You see how there's a divider right here? Well, how you add a divider is you simply add a divider. Click on the word divider and add a divider. How you would delete it is you would delete a divider. Okay? Just like that. Delete a divider. If you ever do a delete that you didn't mean to, over here it'll say click here to undelete the module. That way you can catch your mistake if it was an accident. But what I was getting at is if let's say this up here says rare find priced right in Ronhurst, but you know that you've got 2 or 3 different properties we're putting in on this advertisement, you don't want to be neighborhood specific. Ronhurst is a neighborhood. You would want to say priced right, take this out, investor special in Montgomery County. I'll tell you something to say, or you can ask me what should you write there as a heading. Sometime eventually you're going to get comfortable with understanding the neighborhoods that we're in, and you'll be able to create these on your own. In the meantime, while you're getting comfortable with it, you're going to be asking me. So you would just make, maybe take this out and write investor special and take out Northeast Philly and write Philadelphia or Montgomery County. But again, I'll tell you what to write on that. Also, what you're going to do is you're going to make sure that this is always bolded, this top section. All I did to bold it is when I highlighted this information, just the words itself, that I typed in here, you click bold and then you'll have a code pop up around it. You can just highlight and work within these codes already because they're already set to what I want. What you could also do though, when it's time to change these links, what you would do is highlight this, go on link, you would take this out. Here's where you're going to insert the link that you created yesterday. So I'm going to open up a new tab. I'm going to go into our sites, go to reverse deals. Here's 543 Main Street. This is the one I told you to save yesterday in your favorites or in module 1 in your favorites bar. Click it so you can open it. You want to highlight it. You want to copy that URL. I just press Control C. You want to go back to your page. You want to highlight this section and Control V like Victor. And then you just want to press save. Okay? I'm not going to save it only because I'm not actually doing it on this one. But what will happen is this URL will change to what you just pasted in there. Right now, mine says the actual URL that it's intended to for this advertisement, but this would change, okay? And you want to make sure that you don't have two of these codes in between the parentheses. The reason why is if you have two, the code is not right. You want to delete the one that it should not be there and only have the one that corresponds with this property, okay? If you have multiple properties in here and you don't want to take it to a very specific page, I would take this code out altogether. Just remember, use your brain on this one and just take into account how many you're using or how many properties you have got going on. In this case, again, I was only advertising one property, so I linked this section with when someone clicked on it in the advertisement piece, it would go directly to this page. Generally, what I'll do though is I will link the URL directly to these pictures. So here's what you want to do. Okay, now at this point, again, you want to make sure that like 72,000 in equity, something that's specific to a property, take all that out. This stuff, you can, leave this in here or change it, so it's specific to the property. Just make it sound basic and generic instead of property specific. I guess that's the theme I'm trying to drive home. If you're advertising one property, you can be property specific in this top area. If you're advertising multiple properties in one piece, like 2 or 3, you want to be non-property specific and just overall, like investors and cash buyers get a chance to own one of our homes in Montgomery or Philadelphia County in great neighborhoods. Something like that. It doesn't have to be specific as this is to this house. Okay. Anytime you make a change in this software, you have to press the save button. If you don't, when you go to preview it, it won't show up. So at any point you want to see what it looks like, what you just did, press the preview button. The preview button will open up your mail piece and will allow you to click on these changes that you made. So in this case, you would click on the top link you just worked on, Rare Find Price Right. This used to say Rare Find Price Right in Ronhurst. We changed it. Let's click on it. It takes you right here. This is the one. You can just X that out now, X that page out. Now we're going to X this out and we're going to go back into it. Now that you change this top section, you can get to this section where the property is. A lot of this is going to be similar to how we made changes on the web page. You're simply going to click in an area. You're going to make sure that the property address, and again, you can work within the asterisks because all these asterisks do is bold it. These are just bolded, so I would highlight, if you wanted to bold it again, you would just highlight the actual text you type in here. Scroll down, click the B for bold. The same thing with inserting links. You're going to highlight what you need inserted. Like for instance, the more info, I just highlight the whole thing. I go in here, I hit the link button. I copy that URL from the page you made yesterday directly in here. You press save. And again, this is going to be URL specific to the one you just copied in there. So let me just give you an example and show you actually so you can see it. I'm going to paste this in there. That's 543 Main Street and press save. And now you can see this URL changed to 543 Main Street. Okay. You want to make this information here be identical to the one on your web page. So what I would do is this. Simply go in here. This is the web page that you were referring to that you made yesterday. Copy everything on here. Just scroll your mouse over it. Press Control. Make sure you're just getting this, not everything on the web page. Control C to copy it. Go back in here. Go between the asterisks. Or actually, you know what you can do is you can just go all the way like this. And then Control V for Victor. I would go, but now all of this is going to look plain. See, let me show you what I mean. Press Save. Go to Preview. All of this is what you just did. This is plain. I want this to be bolded. I want the 119 instant equity to be bolded. And we want the will retail for 203 or 239 to be bolded. So what I'm going to do is we exit out of this, go back to the builder. We're going to highlight this. We're going to go down and we're going to hit the bold button. Now when you look at it, the code has been put around that. You also want to highlight will retail for $239. We're going to bold that as well. Now, when you press save and you preview it, you scroll down, you can see that the 119 instant equity is bolded, and so is will retail for 239 is bolded. Also, you can check your link. Make sure that the more info button works. You want it to take you back to the property that you're working on. There's our property. Okay, so you can exit out of that. That works. Beautiful. You can exit out of this one and go back to your main edit page. All right, now you want to fix and change the picture. How you would do this is this. If you notice when you hover over the picture, there's a writing up here. In this case, it says 72,000 in instant equity. You want this number to match how much it is down here, how much it actually is in instant equity. This picture may not represent that, so you want to make sure all of this is correct. You want to make sure that you're checking that your bedrooms and everything are correct, because again, this, you did not copy this over. You want to change all of this information. You want to make sure that the comps are corrected. How I change this is I simply go on to the web page. I simply highlight, press Control C, I come back, I go and I just usually will just highlight, actually let me show you again. Let me just highlight these, the sold. Press Control C. When you go back to it, you can just take these out and then Control V, and boom, it replaces it. So you want this number up here, 72,000, to match it. How you would do it is just click on add a caption or a link. This is where you're typing that in. You want to make sure, again, this link represents the house that we're doing, okay? Because when someone clicks on this picture, we want it to take them again to your page you just created on this in Module 1. This is how that's done. So this picture, this More Info tab are the two areas that will take someone directly to the web page, to that specific page. Now, what you're going to do is this. This portion is pretty much done. When you're ready to add in another property, you're going to do this. You're going to come down here. You're going to do image and text. It's going to put it on the bottom automatically. All you want to do is just simply drag it up underneath of the divider. Or wait, do we want to do it over the divider? Let's see. Okay, so you want to you want the same type of divider that you see here. You want to put one up here too, so that everything looks uniformed. So you can just go like this. You hit the divider tab, and you simply drag this up, and you let it go right there. So now, when you save it and preview it, now you can see that the two dividers are here. Your content is about to go right in between these two dividers. There's nothing showing there because we didn't put anything in. So now let's X this out and let's add something in. All right, how you do it is this. Whatever is the second picture or the second property you're going to be working on, if let's say your assignment was, your work for today was to do these 4 properties. What you're going to do now is you're going to go over here where it says add an image. Now you're going to add the second property that you're working on. You would have to go to Dropbox, go to Gateway Wholesale. You would look at now the second property in your reverse inquiry folder. In my case, again, this is mine are only in deal active, so I would go to, let's say this property, I would go to photos. Okay, I would highlight just the front. You don't need to highlight all of them in this case. You only need to highlight the first one. So let's say this happens to be the same property. Let's just go into a different file. Wait, let's go into this one. You'll highlight this. You'll open. And then it comes over here. You want to click Upload Image. Then what you would do is you would just grab that image and just drag it directly over here and let it go. You want all of the advertisements to look about the same, so you want to stretch this picture out. Make sure when you scroll up and down, it's about the same as that one. I mean, it may not be perfect, but whatever. Then what you want to do is start putting the information in here the same way it looks like in here. What you could do is you could copy all of this, highlight it, press Control C. You could come down here, press Control V, so you have pasted the format. And now what you want to do is start doing the same information here that would pertain to this new property. So remember, in Module 1, you created a web page. Well, if your assignment or work for the day was to create 2 or 3 of these web pages, you would be putting 2 or 3 that you've just created into this property information. This, for instance, would be your second property. This would be a completely separate sales price, a completely separate square footage, and your 3 most recently comps would be updated, as would all of your property description. You also would be updating the link for the more information tab, and you would be uploading or updating the photo information. So it could include um, the new URL that you created for that web page. So that again, when someone clicks on the picture here, or they click on the more info button here, it will take them directly to that page and that page alone. Now, again, once you're done everything, you're just going to click Save. Okay. You want to preview. Now you'll see 2 properties have been added. Again, this has to be specific or not specific, this top area. It's either going to be specific if you're dealing with one property, or it'll be not specific when dealing with multiple. I think you should understand that concept. Like for instance, we changed some of it, just not all of it. But now the fact that there's a second property on here, we would not be saying up in this paragraph, get a chance to own a twin home in Ronhurst, because that is very specific to this one property, this twin home in Ronhurst. You would say something more like, get a chance to own one of our high equity investment properties in Philadelphia or in Montgomery County. Again, I would tell you what to say there. House, and then you would leave the rest of this wording. Houses don't stay on the market long in maybe these zip codes instead of this zip code. These houses don't need a ton of work, needs a little TLC and elbow grease, and all houses have been priced right or to entice your buyers to act today. These houses won't last at this price. Call to schedule a showing. So that's the stuff that you want to be conscious of to make sure that the grammar is correct and that it is coinciding with the amount of properties you have in your advertising. Okay. Um, Again, if somebody clicks on these, you don't need to do anything with these. That'll just take them to the VIP page. We said all this already. They can, of course, click on our Facebook or our LinkedIn pages. I get all metrics on that. I can follow, the links that people click on. And we also can know if the links are bad. So I always encourage you to test all of your links. Make sure there are no links where there shouldn't be. If there is, you simply click on the edit button. Takes you right back to your edit page. And like, for instance, in this case, if I did not want a link to be there, I would highlight all of this. I would click link, and I would just remove the link from here. I would highlight it and delete it and press save. Okay, and then again press save after everything you do. You can either you would have to press save at the bottom of the page or at the top of the page right here. And then always preview your work. Again, once you preview your work, go in again to make sure all the links work the way they should work. This is that's pretty much it. Again, there's only 2 options that we're going to be doing in here for at the moment. It's going to either be editing a campaign that we already created. That's over here. You just click on it. It would take you directly to the campaign. Or you're going to be creating a cloned copy so that we can create a brand new subject line altogether. That does it. When you're finished, go up to my name, press log out. So that way I can get in it when I need to, and it'll take you back to the main sign-in page. And again, guys, thank you so much for taking the time to take this serious. The success of you is very much tied into my success. So it's very important to me that I help you with this if you get stuck. It's very important to me that you learn what it is you need to be doing. There are not many functions we have to do with this job, but just the few that we do have, I need you guys to really do your best to grasp it and get it down as best you can. Thank you for all of your efforts. Again, please do not run away from me on this one. If you get stuck and you don't know if you're doing a good job, please always ask. I'm going to be setting up or sending out another module. Hopefully, you all have reviewed it by now. It is the getting started. It's just going to introduce you a little bit to Gateway, tell you a little bit about me, tell you and show you how I set up my internet, my web browsers, and how I set up my workstation for all of those suggestions. Maybe you all would like to know that so you can set yours up a similar way. But again, thank you for your time, and I will see you in Module 3, where we will be discussing how to create a Excel sheet for our voice broadcasting campaigns that we do. See you in Module 3.